Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel, and today we're going to be talking and discussing about the song In The End by the wonderful band that is Linkin Park. Now, this is a relatively, or fairly old song. This came back out in, 2000. It came off of the Hybrid Theory album, which was the first album by the band. Obviously, it's quite topical at this point in time because obviously with the reforming of the band, going out on this big tour, we wanted to go back and have a look at some of the early stages, and we've actually talked about this video in a very casual past, and you mentioned it yourself when we were talking about Linkin Park, about this was the video that was, you couldn't name it, but you knew what the video was. So I thought it was interesting for us to go back and have a look at it. I think what's quite interesting is it's an interesting point of view of that Chester didn't like this song initially.
I can see why.
So he was not a fan of this track. But let's get into it. So we're going to obviously discuss it. Now, we've all gone away and we've actually gone and watched this video separately to get our own insights into it. And we're going to go through the song step by step. And obviously there'll be some clips of the song as we go through it. So for me, I think the first thing we're going to talk about is the intro. That first sort of 1 minute of the song with that haunting piano, down, down, down. It's iconic within the new metal world nowadays. Everyone knows. As soon as that comes in, everyone knows exactly what's coming up. And it's such a big crowd sing-along. I mean, this one, they don't even have to sing on stage themselves. They can just literally just start playing it, the piano bit, and the entire audience of a festival will sing this song. I love how it kind of has that piano bit and then the bass and the drums, everything just kicks in. It's very tight, it's very groove orientated. There is no weight to any of this. It's not a heavy track. This is almost R&B at this point of the song. It is very much a chilled out track. But I think it's really, really strong.
Well, I think emotionally heavy. When sort of, I've tagged it at the 2:16 mark, where sort of Chester really goes into the emotional vocal delivery. That feels heavy because of the emotional, and what he's portraying in those particular lyrics and that vocal delivery. Yeah, it is kind of a chilled out. Yeah, but then he really. That's what makes it such a hammer blow, I guess, because it's such a contrast to the majority of the song.
There's also elements, if you think about that drum beat, the boom, 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 dun, dun.
It's like Wu-Tang Clan, isn't it?
And you're also into funk at that point. Yeah. That's almost a funk beat. I mean, it's got the balance of Mike and Chester's vocals absolutely works. When that guitar kicks in at the 1 minute mark, and that adds some additional weight. And then you've got that really nice high vocal hook which you're into. When that one kicks in, that's really actually uplifts the song again, and it just flips back down into that one bench. It's such an easy and hookable song.
It's sort of, when you say funk, rap almost, isn't it? It's rap beat.
I mean, this is what I would say, right? Get into that second verse. It absolutely serves the purpose of the song, but it's one of the things is with this song, you can listen to it only a couple of times, and it earworms you. You're singing along with it. It was one of those ones that even if you weren't a massive fan of Linkin Park, when you heard this, you would sing along.
No, that applies to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would stick in your head. I mean, Kirk, now, new metal is your least favourite of all rock and metal genres, I think, it pretty much can be said. So this would have been a painful one for you to listen to, potentially?
I was already a snob in 2000 when this came out. I was like, no, I only listened to black and death metal and mathcore before it even had that term. So to me...
You're not the elitist today.
Yeah, to me, in 2000 at Sixth Form College, me and my elitist tastemaker friends were like, this is false metal.
And locked in a little room together.
It's rock music, it's good rock music, isn't it? However, a few things I do like to put in context. Incredible. The amount of units this shifted. It went diamond in the US, so it sold 10 million copies in the US alone. And I was shocked to learn it sold 2.3 million copies in the UK. They're like Oasis type sales figures. So this is an unbelievable event in the music industry, the way this album outsells Eminem. Yeah, I like the intro, the sorrowful piano, the mono beats, which did become a cliche. To me, the verse part's musically direct lift from Follow the Leader by Korn. Where you've got that low volume bass holding the groove, and then you've got those guitars that are trying to sound like ain't nothing but a G thing, gangster rap type music. So that was interesting to me. I think the chorus is just a bit bland, actually. I mean, you can see why Chester Bennington didn't like it at first. I mean, I thought it sounded like a boy band in 2000, and I've not really changed my mind. It's not for me. Can the guitars do anything other than just ringing power chords? They've got to serve the song, haven't they? So I think you're limited what you can do in that respect. But I do like the clarity in the vocals and the chorus. That is the best part of it for me.
I mean, for me, Linkin Park never stood out as a guitar band. It was never. Guitars were an instrument that was just to add that weight at certain points, the chords. So the biggest instrument you've got on there is, I can't remember the guy's name who does all the samples and stuff.
Yeah.
He basically creates the culture of the song. The guitar is just another layer of instrumentation that adds weight. But I've never looked at that guy with his ear protectors on, thinking, "Oh, I need to learn what he's playing," because it's never been that kind of way for me. But I do want to talk about it, like just before we get to like that point you mentioned, the 2-minute mark, where you've got that kind of that mid drop where Chester really sings that vulnerability point. Some of their moves are really cheesy at the time. They're all kind of doing this like to the camera, that was old.
What I remember is it doesn't even matter in slow motion, as you said,
in the rain.
And it was the guy on the sample pad going, "Oh yeah, I'm so into this." Yeah. But that was the thing. I actually, it's cheesy now, but at the time it didn't seem out of place. It felt the moment.
Do you not remember videos from that time? That effect of them being on a sort of computer generated monument would probably stay of the art, wouldn't it?
It was, yeah.
And it looks a bit dated now, but I like towards the end where the darkness run comes in and it starts raining. So and I think that look is visually at the time it looked really good. It still looks pretty good now, but you can see, it's of its time, and you can see
the fact they had to build a sound stage and they actually just soaked the band for real. They just dumped tons of water on the guys during those performances. And they had to do it obviously at the end part after they'd done it. They were on tour while they were filming this, and so they had to literally take a day off on tour to go off and get this done. I agree, yeah. So you talked about the 2-minute mark with that vulnerability bit, which when goes into, he switches from that real kind of chill part into that intense element, and that really uplifts. If you've ever seen where they did it at the Grand Central Station, so this wasn't long before Chester's passing, but they did a performance which was almost like a stripped back bit, which just had Mike playing the piano and like a cadge on drum, and it's literally just Chester singing the song, and the whole audience on the platform at Grand Central Station sing along with this. And it gets to that one, and all the crowd are just like singing along. What a feeling!
Yeah, that piano motif. That is quite original. You didn't have that in New Metal, did you? It's like a Gothic, European type Gothic motif that even Paradise Lost would have used in the late.
But bands would use it for intros. They'd never use it to go back through
songs.
They
actually did.
They use it as part of it. They use it as part of the whole track.
I can't think of any other band who did that. So there are some originalities.
The problem we have though is Linkin Park lost a lot of fans, etc. They still had loads of fans, but they lost a lot of their initial fans after Hybrid Theory and Meteoria when they brought out the album after that, because everyone was like, I don't even know what came after Meteoria.
Yeah, they took 4 years out.
And people, that's a lifetime in the industry.
Yeah.
To come back after 4 years, and what they didn't do was come back with a single that sounded like it had been off of either of the previous 2 albums. They came back with almost like a ballady type thing, and people were like, huh?
I mean, they were influenced by U2 and artists like weren't they, on the 3rd album, and then they started,
and then they started doing a lot of soundtracks. I think they turned around. It was like there was a meme, wasn't there, on Facebook about this? It's like Linkin Park are back together. Michael Bay's ears prick up. It's like, literally, love a Transformers movie. Let's get them back. Need another soundtrack. It's just that's what they did. They did so many different freaking intros. Or soundtracks, which was quite funny. But yeah, it's visually, it purely is of its time, but it looks like an early 2000s music video. But I actually liked that. I mean, you had it with Evanescence and bringing it back to life, and everyone wanted to everyone was really getting into CGI and trying it out. I think they did a great one.
And that shows you how much money was in the industry at the time.
But still, no one knows why there's a big freaking whale flying over his head at one point. I have no idea what's going on about that in the video. No one does. No one understands it. But that's what was fun about the time, I guess. And do you know what? I prefer that than what happened in the 2010s, where everyone was like, "We're going to play in a black warehouse, yeah! We're going to play in a cornfield, yeah!" They'd lost any interest in actually putting together an
Yeah.
interesting video. Everyone was like, we're just going to strip it back to Raw, and
I mean, like,
I think we lost the ability.
Free kind of Leech by Cord. Look how much thought and how
Yeah.
much budget they had for that.
El Nino
With the
did some
fun of-
great ones as well. They did ones for like from Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean,
Yeah.
the videos of the early 2000s were phenomenal.
Yeah.
If you look at the ones from the 90s, they again were festival performance stuff. They weren't, or they were soundstage based. They weren't using anything beyond that. The early 2000s, music videos from them were all almost like movie productions.
Yeah.
And people could go back and look at that and go, but the thing is, they'd spend
Rewatch value, that's
There's
your
rewatch,
price,
and
yeah.
but the thing is, there'd be like £500,000 to film one
Oh,
of those
yeah.
now. It's insane the amount of
Even
money
in the
they'd
early
spend.
90s, do you remember a Michael Jackson video would be premiere on Channel 4 and it'd tell you, like, you know, it costs $2.3 million to
Yeah.
make.
Crazy how much money people do.
Crazy.
Well, that was our Linkin Park and Numb. Let us know what you think about the video in the comments
In the
down
end.
below. In the end? Was it Numb?
In
Oh,
the
it's in
end.
the end. Sorry, what?
That tells you, it just sounds like
I think it was because I was looking at Numb the other day. Sorry, we were doing in the end. There you go.
I'm the one who forgot the name of the track, remember?
Oh yeah, that's it. Sorry, I was thinking about Numb. I think that was because I was going to do Numb the other one as well. There we go. That was in the end. Thank you very much for watching today, and we'll see you in another video sometime very soon. Take care.